pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
And 3 overall with a winning California. Opening drive, Jeff Sibbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. Happy Thursday to you. How you living? All good?
All good.
Life's good? Late night for you? Get some rest? Ladies game last night. How'd the ladies do?
Amazing. Best offensive performance of the season.
Ladies are amazing.
84 points. Where'd that come from?
Yeah, but maybe they're on a little roll too, huh?
3 in a row. Yep.
Yeah, that's how it is. They took care of Fresno State. High-scoring win last night. The ladies were winners at the pit last night as well. The final score last night, 84-77 over Fresno State. So Lobo men last night, I don't know how much you got to go back and see them afterwards. I'm going to guess you saw the majority of it. I thought they asserted themselves early. Richard Pitino kicked the scoreboard table at the end of the first half when Jalen House jacked up a 3 with about 7 seconds left on the halftime on the first half clock, and allowed MJ Amy to come down and throw one in from just inside half court and cut the lead to 12. But if that's your biggest issue all night long, I think it was your biggest issue all night long. Bottom line to me, they went and took care of business. They're better than San Jose State. They're on a roll. This is a team that's clicking. That all of you who told me we need more Sebastian Forsling and less 3 guards with House, Dent, and Mashburn, that they can't play together. And I said, can we just watch it play out for a little bit? I think it's playing out pretty well, and they're figuring out how to play. 17 points. You look at 5 guys in double figures, 18 for House, 17 for Mashburn, 17 for Dent, another double-double from JT Toppin. A good business-like win, a good 2 in a row on the road. Yep, you're right. Team's at the bottom of the standings, but you can't get got by them, and you went out and you won by double figures again.
I would even say it's more than business-like. When you win by 20, you scored 95 points on the road.
Yep.
A few days after scoring 85 points. And for UNM, I know there's some comments as you're watching that game. People go, man, San Jose State shooting 47%. Yeah, so what? Your team just scored 95 points. There are also advantage in points off turnovers, 25-4. Lobos didn't turn the basketball over. San Jose State
6
did.
times, yeah.
You also had a huge advantage. Free throw attempts, free throws made 17 of 26 for New Mexico, 5 of 5 for San Jose State. So UNM was still playing to their strength, which is transition basketball, forcing turnovers, getting to the foul line. And if you're scoring 85 to 95 points per game, the other team might get some buckets. And this San Jose State team isn't quite Air Force bad at times offensively. And, oh, by the way, Air Force just scored 90 points at UNLV.
And beat it by 32.
What they did on the road in back-to-back games is what you have to do to win a conference title.
A couple of things. There are a number of things that stood out. This team's on a roll, and you're going to get Nevada Sunday night in the pit. Wolfpack beat nationally ranked Colorado State. Colorado State's not ranked anymore, are they? They are ranked. Yeah, no, they beat 24th ranked Colorado State last night in Reno, and boy, did Nevada need that. 77-64. Lucas and Blackshear were terrific for Nevada, who figured it out. That was a big, almost kind of got to have it win for Nevada. They got it, so they'll come into the pit feeling good about themselves. But here's a couple of things on New Mexico from last night. They continue to have that inside presence, and the shot blocking from Toppin and the rim protection and everything around the rim, I just think is such a big deal. They continue to take the ball away. They had 11 steals on the 16 turnovers by San Jose State. So the pressure on the defense. And here's something where I don't know if this is going to be a trend, but they were 10-19 from the three-point land, and they have not been a good three-point shooting team. And, I mean, here, riddle me this, Batman. When is a two-point shot worth more than a three-point shot?
You get
when the
No
2-point
one.
shot goes in and the 3-point shot doesn't. I mean, they realize they're much better at the mid-range, and that's where New Mexico's been making
At the
their
basket.
hay. That's when a 2-point shot is worth more than 3, when the 2 goes in and the 3 doesn't. And yet last night, to be able to go 10 of 19, to find the range, and I think a big part of it is Amsil. He was only 1 for 2, but they're not shooting a bunch of them. House was 3 for 7. Mashburn was 2 for 3. Dent was 2 for 3, and they're finding a way. If they all of a sudden now add that, they're going to be a really, really tough out.
Well, I'm not expecting that from this team. I think they'll shoot just enough, but they play so fast. They have guards that get downhill. You're going to get yourself clean looks, and I think that is the number. Like 19, 20 attempts.
That's fine.
In a game, you're good with that. Because you have enough, as you just laid out, there's enough good shooters on this roster. I like that everyone is settling into their role. And Richard Pitino finally has an extended, so far through conference play, that's 7 games of this rotation. And you see it. And some guys are going to take a hit. Jamal Baker, I'm sorry, man, you're a 10, 11 minute guy. Drew Washington, same thing. Mustafa Amzil, he's going to be a little bit higher, backing up both forward positions.
Mm-hmm.
But you see, that's their rotation. And that's who they're going to be. And it's really good.
It's been really good. They've won 4 in a row. They've won their last 4 games by 70 points. I mean, we're talking about 18-point average-ish victory. And you're going to say, well, Jeff, yeah, okay, they beat Air Force and San Jose State. Well, they won both those games on the road. Oh, and throw in San Diego State and Utah State, who are nationally ranked, came into the pit and got run. I'm not putting these guys in the national championship game yet, but what I'm telling you is you got the potential of something really good.
This is what you have to do if you want to be a conference champion. Win your games at home, and you won them convincingly over against good teams. Go on the road, and everyone's like, oh, it's gloom, it's sluggish. Oh, watch out for San Jose State. They're playing teams tough. Just blew both those teams out of the building.
Blew them both out of the building. It was never in doubt, and it was a good one last night. JT Toppin, another double-double for him last night as he continues to roll. 14 points, 10 rebounds for a guy who last year at this time was playing in high school gyms in Texas. Showed that to Daddy last night. I said, so how would that guy go up against your academy team? She's like, Dad, I mean, that guy right there was in high school last year? Yeah.
Might score 100.
Yeah. He might
they
score,
let him.
he might score 100. 7th double-double. That ties him with Kenny Thomas for the UNM freshman double-double in a season, and they got more than half a league season left to go, so pretty good chance one of Kenny's records is going to drop. UNM's 4th straight double-digit win. All of them in league, 2 of them against ranked teams, the other 2 on the road. It's the longest since a 7-game streak of winning by double digits back in the 2011-2012 season. So, Lobo fan, you got to feel good. Look, we got the email yesterday. You were already complaining, well, if they only win by 10, all right, they won by 20. Is that enough for you now? Well, if they only win by 10, the people are going to be upset. Not really. No. I never thought that was right. And well, you don't have to worry about it because they went out and won by 20. This was convincing. And look, I told you Amy can score now. San Jose State's got some athletes. Yeah. I think Jean is pretty good. He's long. He's bouncy. He plays some defense. And Amy can flat out score. He's going to be that guy that's going to be playing somewhere next year. You're going to go, oh, I remember that dude. Yeah. I mean, they always have one. But this was, to me, this was just go out and take care of business, man. And here's the other piece of this. And I'll take you back. What's today? Wednesday? 2 weeks ago yesterday. I think that's all it was. 2 weeks ago yesterday. After they lost at UNLV on a Tuesday night. Okay? The phones were ringing and you guys were pretty upset. And you got handled at UNLV. Handled. Not blown out, but handled. And the comments were, Nelly's soft. He can't play. He can't play against the big guys. We need more Sebastian Forsling. I mean, I got the receipts. The 3 guards, Mashburn should come off the bench. 3 guards can't play together. House and Dent, and there's not enough balls. And Mashburn should come off the bench, and they should play. Where's Quentin Webb? We were hearing, right? We talked more about 2 dudes who played 0 minutes combined than we did about the team. And the response was, like, give it a minute, right? They played 32 minutes, I think, complete, or maybe it was less. Was it 8 minutes? Whatever it was. All the non-conference, either House, or Mashburn were hurt. Dent was hurt in there as well. And I think you and I both came to the same conclusion, and this wasn't, it doesn't make us geniuses. You got 3 insanely talented guards. Insanely talented guards. Let them figure this thing out. Let give this a little bit of time for them to figure out how to play together, because they're all just coming back. Mash seemed to find it a little bit last night. 7 for 11. His percentage came up, and boy, he looked like Mashburn, didn't he? Creating, stepping away, 18-footer, right? Finding it. I think, and again, look, things can change in 2 more weeks, right? But in 2 weeks, you feel a little different about, I'm asking the people who are calling for Forsling and to bench, Mashburn off the bench.
It's the hardest thing to do in sports is to let something play out. Because as fans and coming in every day, you want reaction. That team lost. That quarterback didn't win a playoff game. That needs to change right now. What is changing right now? And in college basketball, once you're in the season, you're not changing anything other than your rotation. You're not trading for someone. You're not out there going, oh, is there anyone we can sign? I just was bought out as a free agent. As much as we talk about the transfer portal, and Richard Pitino knew he just had to let it play out because those guys did not have a lot of time together. And it was a rough time to do it. Write it in conference play, going to tough road games, Colorado State, UNLV. And he let it play out. You're seeing his rotation evolve, guys coming along. And even when we look at Anelli Jr. Joseph, who, it wasn't what we expected early, but you still have to get your legs. You still have to get comfortable in your environment. And all these guys have done that. Mustafa Amzil in his role, the freshman playing exceptional basketball. And it's easy to say now, but it's so hard to do in the moment because you want, it's got to change. It's not working. What's going to be the change? And sometimes it's, we don't need to change anything. We just got to let it develop.
And that's where you got to give the coach a lot of credit. I've told you this over the 2.5 seasons now that he's been here. I really, really like his demeanor when it's good and when it's not good. And after the UNLV game was the first time you could sense, I don't want to say a crack, just a different tone in Pitino, right? After the game. Remember that? And you and I talked, I think, off the air about it. There was a frustration level that you and I both sensed. And it was, they send you the videos of when he does the post-game interviews, and there was a different look in him.
Yeah.
It was, damn, dude, is this going to work almost? And I don't know if that's what he was feeling. I'd like to talk to him about it at some point later. But he stuck with what he believes in. He knew he sees these guys every day. I'll tell you the other piece of this. Not only is it the guards that have come through and figured out how to play together, Nelly Jr. Joseph's been a different dude the last 4 games. Yeah. And if you want to find as big of a piece, like JT Toppin has been that guy all season, all 20 games now, 17-3. But Nelly Jr. Joseph's been a different dude the last 4 games.
He's been the guy that you're expecting to be the linchpin defensively. And now the way that JT Toppin is working, 5 blocks for JT last night. Nelly's going to be there, a shot contester, a rebounder as well. And that's what the Lobos needed. They needed that different look inside with the way this team is constructed. And that's what they're getting.
All right, we're here for you today. Let's go. Big Lobo win on the road. And look, they're all big. It would have been bigger if it was a lot, right? I mean, and that's why I call it workmanlike. You go take care of it. You needed to do this. You're a ranked team. You've got aspirations to be a league champion. You need to go on the road and beat a team that's 1-5 or whatever they were. You didn't have to beat them by 20, but you did. And I think that says a lot. Text line says whether it's a win by 1 point or a win by 30 points, it's still a win, and that's the only stat that matters. And you're right. You're 100% right.
We can talk about the eye test.
Yeah. No, talk about the eye test.
And that is 95 points on the road.
Yeah.
Is really impressive.
I'm listening because the eye test was really, really dang good. All right, here's what we're doing today. 8:30 today. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is going to be with us. He is, amongst other things, he is their bracketologist. He is one of their most respected college sports reporters. He's with us every single Thursday, and he'll do that at 8:30. Looking forward to talking to him. Really want his opinion on the polls and the Mountain West. His bracket will come out again, I think, today, and where he's got New Mexico, if he's got New Mexico in, and what he thinks of what's going on there. So we're going to do that coming up at 8:30 this morning. It really should be a good conversation with Jerry. It always is. Want your thoughts on a little basketball? The phone number is 505-246-0610. Big win last night, 95-75 in San Jose. Ladies win again, 84-77. Was that 3 in a row, 4 in a row?
3 in a row.
3 in a row for JJ's Lobos. Are they yours yet? The voice. If you're the voice, they're yours, right? When I speak Lady Lobos. I mean, yes. So we'll do that. And you can send emails, Jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, JJ@sportsanimалabq.com. But we did not forget your San Diego Superchargers, who's currently reside at a Motel 6 in actually a pretty nice place in Los Angeles. SoFi's pretty nice. That's a big hire. That dude went there. What it means, why he went there, and why it's going to make a big difference, that's coming up next on the opening drive on The Sports Animal. The number's growing. International Protective Service has hundreds of homeowners and business owners who trust them to install alarms and cameras to keep their eyes on those homes and businesses and to respond quickly if an alarm goes off and respond with an armed, trained security officer. The reality is police aren't coming for hours if they come at all, and in most cases, IPS is there within 7 minutes or less. This is in Albuquerque and in Santa Fe. During the holidays, you traveled. Well, you didn't stop traveling now. You're still not home all the time. So who's watching your home? Have it be IPS, because there's nothing worse than coming home and finding out you've been a victim of a break-in. You've noticed IPS service officers at local stores, Targets, Walmarts. IPS making a major difference for them. And they can help you too. They help me. They come by my house every single day. I've trusted IPS for years. My neighbors now use them as well. I see Officer Crespin on a regular basis, just coming by and making sure everything's all right. Look, IPS has a team watching video cameras and monitoring alarms around the clock to secure your home. Cameras are known to discourage criminal activity. Your home's supposed to be a place of security, and if someone breaks in, it's devastating for that sense of security. Call them at 505-897-2420. That's 505-897-2420. Or online at ipsglobal.com. IPS is passionate about making Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Show this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, refractive lens exchange. the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Best quarterback ever, right? I mean, is it ever? Second best quarterback ever?
On his way.
On his way to being the best quarterback ever, even though he's never won a playoff game. But he's the greatest thing ever. This is going to turn the Chargers around. Big deal, obviously a big deal. And zero surprise for. I mean, is anybody? Have you met anybody who said, "Wow, I really thought he was going to stay"? I'm really surprised. But there's nothing, right?
Not after he was doing multiple second interviews with him.
Okay. Why, according to CBS, he's going to make chargering an extinct thing? I don't know that I think he is. What is chargering? The Chargers' propensity for collapses. It's kind of like cooging it if you're a Washington State fan. Losing close games, overall underachievement. But everything bad, right? They gave up 63 points to the Raiders this year, fired Brandon Staley. What does this mean? Big picture, is this instantly the Chargers are now a what? Because everybody feels, and I get it, man. Dude has won everywhere. He won at USD. He won at Stanford. He won with the Niners. He won with Michigan. Here comes the Chargers, a team that I think the majority of people, if you ask football people and you said the biggest underachieving team in the NFL this year was whom, you would say the Chargers, right? I mean, I don't even think there's another one. A team that just about everyone had, if not in the playoffs, sniffing the playoffs, right? And, well, Cincinnati maybe, but their quarterback was hurt too. Well, I mean, Herbert was hurt and he wasn't there. Okay. So Jim Harbaugh makes the Chargers what immediately?
A playoff.
So they are a playoff team no matter what they're doing in the offseason, no matter how they're constructed, no matter what they do or do not do in free agency, in draft, they are automatically a playoff team.
Yes.
Why?
Jim Harbaugh is going to chip away at charging. This dude is going to come in and actually build a foundation. And you look at the Chargers, Brandon Staley didn't do that. Brandon Staley had the piece of paper with all the talent on it and never put it together. Jim Harbaugh is going to put it together. Jim Harbaugh has a good quarterback in Justin Herbert. Jim Harbaugh took Colin Kaepernick to the Super Bowl, and all everyone wants to do is say that dude was the worst quarterback they've ever seen. And now you give him Justin Herbert and an offense that they have to lay a foundation. As much as we talk about, they have all this talent, they're always hurt. They need a kind of a mental reset as a franchise, and Jim Harbaugh can do this, and he's still going to have Bosa and Mac coming off the edges wherever he gets to run that defense. They'll get through some of the veteran stuff, like Keenan Allen's not coming back. He's a free agent. They'll probably figure out a way to move on from Austin Eckler. But then you come back, and I believe in Jim Harbaugh. The track record is too good for this team to not be competitive.
All right, so let me give you a few facts. First of all, they were bad. I don't know, where do they draft? Like 8th, 10th, somewhere in there? Okay. They are $44 million over the projected cap as we sit here. Okay. That is without re-signing Austin Eckler, as you said. Their tight end, Gerald Everett, Kenneth Murray. They have huge cap hits on guys that are over 30. You talked about Keenan Allen. Khalil Mack is also that way. Harbaugh is going to decide who's there. There is no general manager right now with the Chargers. Telesco is now, they let him go, and he is the general manager in the division with the Raiders. So who will his coordinators be, and who's going to decide on all the players? Well, whoever the GM comes in is going to basically have to succeed to Harbaugh, right? The fact that, doesn't this tell you the fact that they hired the coach first before the GM, doesn't that tell you who's going to have the power?
Yes.
Right? So it's his show. I don't know what he's making, man. Supposedly he was offered a 6-year, $11.5 million deal at Michigan. And I don't think it's all about money for him. I think he was just, it's time, right? But who are his coordinators? Who does he follow, or who follows him in there, right? JJ, I think they're good. I think they're better. As we sit here currently constructed, they're a playoff team, and who's out next year? You figure Cincinnati's back in, right? Because Joe Burrow is going to be back. So they're better than Baltimore or Houston or Buffalo or Miami, or who are they better than? They're better. All right, I'll give it Pittsburgh. Yeah. All right. I mean, as we say, and we have no idea what the draft is going to do, free agency is going to do. I mean, this is so super premature. That's why I'm asking the question in the moment right now, right? I mean, Buffalo feels like they're still going to be around for a while. Miami certainly feels like they're going to be around for a while. The Jets are going to have Aaron Rodgers.
The Browns could take a step back with Deshaun Watson.
Or they could take a step forward, right? Baltimore, you figure, is going to be good. Cincinnati's going to be good. Houston sure as hell feels like they're going to be good. Jacksonville, I mean, that feels like a real big hiccup for Jacksonville. I kind of feel Jacksonville's going to be back. I know Kansas City's going to be good. I think they're a playoff contender. I'll give you that, 100%. I'm not sure. But let's see what they do. Let's see what they do. This is big, though. This is big for the franchise. This is big. Did they get a lot more fans? Is this a PR move in LA too? As they're trying to play and find their way in that market? I mean, look, when they hired Brandon Staley, nobody knew who the hell Brandon Staley was. What they tried to do is exactly what the Rams just did. Let's hire some young Wunder kid who nobody knew who Sean McVay was when he took over the Rams. So it was like, who's this kid running the Rams? Then he goes to a Super Bowl. It's like, oh, look at that kid running the Rams. What's his name again? Sean McVay, right? This almost feels like, all right, we brought in a Delta.
Yeah, brought a winning coach in. And, as fluky as Harbaugh can seem, like the dude works. There's zero questions because we saw him do it before in the NFL that, can the college guy, can his attitude work its way in? Absolutely. It's going to work because there's that track record of him doing it in San Francisco. And it's what you said. When coaches climb the ladder, they've won everywhere. But when you look at Harbaugh, he won at some destinations that they weren't big time winners. San Diego, like Stanford doesn't win a lot in football. They don't. And then Jim Harbaugh took that team to a different level.
And David Shaw kept it going for a long time too. Text line, why do you keep referring to the Chargers as being in and or belonging to San Diego, especially when you continuously trash them? Your interest in and connection to San Diego noted. The Chargers aren't in San Diego. It would seem one who trashes them as you do would just leave them alone. I hit on the Chargers on a factual bit. Yeah. Do I call them San Diego? By the way, I'm not the only one who does this. And I hate the way the Spanos family treated that town. Okay, I'll answer your question. I hate the way the Spanos family treated that fan base and that town. basically held them hostage, wanted a publicly funded stadium, right? And played for a long time. There's a long history with the fans. I got a lot of good friends who are longtime Charger fans, great fans. And I feel for San Diego. I feel for the fans. So that's why I call them San Diego. That's why they were there for a long time. And yeah, why do I trash them? I trash them because, I mean, with all due respect, they're kind of a trash. They've been a trash product, right? They've been. Give me a more underachieving franchise than the National Football League in the last decade.
I don't agree with that statement at all. They've been a trash franchise.
Fair enough. Well, why do I trash them? Their product has been borderline. Has shown
who the Buffalo Bills are right now. But we love Buffalo.
I don't know. Buffalo just played in the second round of the NFL playoffs.
They had that run with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
like they were that franchise that could never get over the hump.
Right.
But I don't think they were trash.
Okay, fair enough. If they're not trash, what borderline, man. I mean, they have been to me. Give me a team, a franchise,
underachievers
that is more underachieved in the last decade than they have. You got one? Every year, that's the team. That's the team, and they find a way to lose close games. I mean, I don't know. Why do I trash the Chargers? Because every week they go out
Dallas
and find
Cowboys.
a way to lose. And I feel, I believe in curses. I believe in curses. So yeah, I mean, I don't expect you to be satisfied with the explanation, but that's the explanation. Is there, they weren't my team growing up. San Diego's not my hometown. But I know a lot of people in that town. I hate the way the Spanos family treated that town. Well, Jeff, other cities have moved. The Rams left St. Louis. Yeah, they did. And they left LA first to go to St. Louis. But nobody wants to remember that part of it. But yeah. So yeah, there is a piece that is a little personal with the Spanos family and the Chargers. Yeah. Yeah. But the other part is, I mean, tell me, defend them then. To the texter who, you trash them and whatever. Defend them. Tell me why that's such a great franchise, because they have done less with more, it feels like, than most franchises in the National Football League, right? They've had really good defenses. They've had a terrific quarterback, I keep being told, and I think he's a good quarterback. Really good receivers, terrific running back. And they've done what? Tell me again. Just asking. So that's why. I mean, I'm not going to run from it. Do I trash them? I don't know. I think they Charger it. And I just read
why there's a thing called chargering.
And I just read that in a national article. Look, here's chargering. Yeah. So that's it. All right, 505-246-0610. I'll answer any more of your Charger questions if you like. 888-922-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. An hour from now, Jerry Palm will be with us, and hope you'll make some time to spend it with us and him as well. Guys, how you feeling? A little tired, a little fatigued, a little too often, not feeling like you used to? You can turn the page and feel better if you call New Male Medical Center. New Male specializes in men's health, offers cutting-edge treatments for things like low testosterone and fatigue and hair loss, even erectile dysfunction. Their expert team is dedicated to helping you feel better. So imagine feeling better again, energetic, confident, at your best. Whether it's restoring your youthful vigor or tackling hair loss, New Male's personalized treatments are designed just for you. This isn't some off-the-shelf, here you go, do this. They'll walk you through it, and they will customize the treatment for you. So don't let another day go by feeling less than your best. Join thousands of men who've transformed their lives with New Male. It's confidential, comprehensive, and it is about you. So ready to do it? Ready to discover the new you? Visit newmalemedical.com. Newmalemedical.com. Call them at 505-652-1688 to schedule your private consultation today. 505-652-1688. New Male Medical Center, where your new chapter begins. It's New Male Medical Center. Feel young, feel energized, feel new.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated,
Ripped,
plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
It might be pretty good. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. They are 17-3 and they're 5-2 overall. We're going to hear a little bit from Richard Pitino in the postgame coming up here in a little bit.
And I am actually really excited that Nevada won that game last night at Colorado State.
It makes this.
It keeps the Mountain West spicy.
Yeah.
That's not a bad loss for Colorado State. And it gets a little more oomph into that game on Sunday night. The pit was already going to be popping. There's a ton of energy, but now Nevada snapping their streak. Then, hey, we're still in this race. We're still going to be a team that gets you a good win. They're 47th in the net right now. Lobos are 19th. And the Lobos need some more quad 1 and 2 wins. And that's the only thing that's holding the resume back right now. Lobos quad 1 and 2 games in the net rankings. They're 3-3. And you look at like San Diego State has 6 wins in quads 1 and 2. Utah State has 6. Colorado State has 5.
So you got to stack them.
Start getting some of those quad 1 and quad 2s. You got an opportunity Sunday night.
Yeah. All right, I want to go back to the Harbaugh thing and the Chargers thing. And I just back to that the texter, thinks I'm hating on the Chargers. I'm not hating on the Chargers. Yeah, you can hit that. So when the Chiefs play, assuming they're still together next year, when the Chiefs go back to SoFi, she'll be there.
Or
I saw her at SoFi. Yeah, she was great. All right, let me just give you a few things. This isn't hate. This is fact. Okay. Justin Herbert's got a losing record in the NFL, despite recording the most passing yards in his first 4 seasons of any quarterback in history. Let me give that to you. This quarterback is good. He's thrown for over 17,000 yards in his first 4 seasons, more than anybody in the history of the NFL in the first 4 seasons, and they've got a losing record. Fact. I'm not beating up on your Chargers. I'm not hating on the Chargers. Chargers are one of 12 teams who have never won a Super Bowl. But now they've got legit expectations. They haven't been to a conference championship game since 2007. JJ, You know, every year we sit around and we do the Mountain West over under. We take win totals. Can I give you a safe bet? Bet the under on the Chargers. When I talk about expectation, and again, I'm just giving you facts. This is not hate. Chargers have gone under their preseason win total 5 straight years. Every year we talk about, oh, this is going to be a Super Bowl team. Oh, this is good. Look out for the Chargers. Look out for the Chargers. Look out for the Chargers. 2019, their win total was 10. They went under. 2020 was 8. They went under. 2021, 9.5 under. 2022, 10.5 under. This year, 9.5. Would they win 4, 5? Close games. This last year, and this is where chargering comes into it. Okay, this is the I mean, again, not hate. These are just facts for the texter. Chargers were 0-7 in games decided by 3 points or less in 2023. It's chargering. They were 0-7 in games decided by 3 points or less this year, tied for the worst record in a season all time. Never, I mean, the 94 Oilers also went 0-7. So they just find ways to lose. Justin Herbert has the most losses by 3 points or less by any quarterback in his first 4 seasons. He's lost 14 times by 3 points or less. Now, I mean, look, late collapses went back to Phillip Rivers era too. This is kind of a Charger thing, hence the Charger ring. By the way, 49ers' best record in one-score games are 28-1, 20-8-1.
Okay. How much does coaching play into that?
Well, we're going to find out, right? We're going to find out. It was 2 coaches. It was Anthony Lynn and it was Brandon Staley, correct? It wasn't just one coach to blame it on. You can maybe that goes back to the Spanos family and hiring 2 bad coaches. I don't know. We're going to find out, though, right? I mean, maybe this guy's the curse breaker. We're going to see. Chargers 28th in scoring defense since drafting Justin Herbert. This goes to your point. He's pretty damn good. All these numbers are great. Herbert's terrific. I agree with you. All these numbers are backing up you where you say he shouldn't get.
He's Matthew Stafford. There's no difference. Matthew Stafford wasn't winning a darn thing in Detroit.
Yep.
Now he didn't have the hype. That's understandable.
He wasn't in LA.
But no one.
He wasn't in. I said it. Said it. He wasn't in LA.
It's like they're the same quarterback. Like, you get the things right, they're going to win a lot of games.
Right.
And getting Jim Harbaugh in there is the first step to getting things right.
I think that's right. And I think this is a really good move. But this is all in response to why do you hate on the Chargers? I'm giving you facts. Who's the big bad bully in that division? Easy question. Who's the big bad bully in the AFC West?
Kansas City.
They are 3-17 against the Chiefs in the last 10 seasons. You better beat them.
They've won 3 games.
Yeah. They won 3 games. Yes, they are.
When some of the other teams have in the
and
time
look,
frame.
A lot of people haven't beaten Patrick Mahomes. I get it. But you're going to have to beat that guy.
So is Josh Allen.
Yeah. Oh, but you beat up on Josh Allen, but you don't touch Justin Herbert. Why? I mean, is his coach way better than what they've had? I'm just asking.
And now we'll find out just how much coaching matters in the NFL.
Let me go a little deeper.
I think we're going to find out that those one-score games are going to start to flip in favor of the Chargers.
Yeah. I mean, hell, just the odds tell you that at some point it's going to level. Let me give you one other thing on charging it, and it goes so much deeper, and I'll take you way back into the San Diego days. And this isn't just about an LA thing, and this isn't hate. They have squandered. And I say squander because, I mean, they haven't won. They've been to a Super Bowl, right? You guys, they've had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks before this guy, and they never got to the Super Bowl. Well, Phillip Rivers got to the Super Bowl. Dan Fouts.
Rivers never got to the Super Bowl.
Oh, it was Humphreys, wasn't it? It was Stan Humphreys who played the Super Bowl against the 49ers. You're right. No, you're right. For whatever reason. So they had 2.
1994.
They had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks. And you guys, I don't expect you to remember how good Dan Fouts was. But Dan Fouts was sensational. He had Kellen Winslow and Charlie Joyner, and they had great receivers. And then they had all that time with Phillip Rivers. So that's why. So why am I a little rough on the Chargers? Because of facts. Tell me anything I said that's wrong. Give me a yeah, but. I'm listening. No, honestly. Yeah, but. I mean, yeah, but. All right, you guys also want to talk global basketball. We're going to hit that when we get back. 95-75 Fourth win in a row. They go on the road and win by double digits in San Jose. How, why, and bigger. What's next on Sunday? It sets up a big one. It's the opening drive. We'll hear from you and Jerry Palm at 8:30 from CBS on 95.9 FM and AM 6 in the Sports Animal, your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
This report is sponsored by...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk,
Blasted.
intoxicated,
Rip.
plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like me, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was kind of, I had a soft spot. I liked the Chargers. I did. I mean, a little bit indifferent now, but facts are facts on that. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Lobos win last night, 95-75 in San Jose. Got home late early this morning, really, is when they got home. They'll play Nevada in the Pit on Sunday. Manny, you want to talk about that? Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Manny.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Hey, that caller a couple of weeks ago that suggested that Sebastian Forsling get more minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's not going to happen. Forsling's minutes were perfect last night.
Yeah.
And Jeff, you know Lobo caller, man. You know Lobo fan. They're the water for them guys. You know, if they could coach, they would. You know, they just don't because they don't know how to basketball. But I think we're peaking. Last year we peaked in November, early December. We're peaking in January, February now. This is where we need to be. So I think the rotation's starting to look really good. I don't know about you guys, but Toppin, if he keeps the course, that kid's going to probably be the best Lobo ever to come out of Lobo land. He hasn't even learned a significant move yet. Once that kid learns a jumper, a little hook shot inside, makes about 70% of his free throws, it's really sky's the limit for that kid because he's getting points off rebounds now and getting assists dished to him, perfect setup. I think he's going to be really good, and I'm happy that we have him. We got a big game on Sunday.
Yep.
Got to take care of business. Alford been coming over here and getting us a few times.
Got you both times
Sunday.
last year. Yeah, you got you both times last year.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you guys, what you guys do. Go VNA Cumber and go Lady Lobos.
Thanks, Manny. Be well. Alfred and Noodles got you both times last year. And
Can we stop for a second?
Yeah.
And highlight what he just said.
Which part?
Could JT Toppin be the best Lobo ever? Like, that came out of his mouth. Have we thought about that?
I'm not sure I've thought about him being the best Lobo ever. No. I thought about him being first team all conference.
As a freshman?
I guess I have not let myself think that far ahead.
It's almost impossible these days to think that.
Well, when I start thinking ahead, I start getting nervous.
Did you think about the transfer?
Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
But that is a incredible statement. That dude, that's one that I'm jealous I didn't think about.
I'm going to tell you this. When I start thinking beyond this year, I have no idea what it looks like. Right? If Lobos continue on this trend, I tell you all the time, enjoy the moment.
What it looks like?
You
Yes.
know where I'm going, right? I mean,
Yes,
and you guys all know this. Enjoy this. Enjoy this team. I mean, you know, House is gone. Mashburn may or may not be gone, and then you got the portal. And I mean, if I gave it to you, and look, I'm not looking to play this game today, but since this is where it's going, if I asked you for odds that Richard Pitino's going to be your coach next year, that he doesn't get get paid somewhere. If they're 17-3, if they continue on this,
finish it off.
If they, because I'm going to just tell you that if they finished off what they started last year, I don't think he'd be here now. That doesn't mean he doesn't like it here. That doesn't mean, nothing. I'm just
the world.
I think it's the world
they live in.
And there's schools with a lot more money. And if you're going to tell him that he's going to go make north of $3 million somewhere and go back east and look, or go wherever, I don't know. And I don't know what's going to be open. I have no idea. I know we turned down South Florida for $1.8 million. Right. But it scares me. I heard what he said. No, I haven't thought. I just, because of the portal, because of the uncertainty, I have learned so much to live in the moment. Like, would I love to think, man, Dent and Toppin and True Washington, that's your core for the next 3 years? Gosh, I'd love to think that. I'm afraid to.
And that is the fair way to think now, is you just can't think, oh, what this team, what this player is going to look like 2-3 years from now, because you don't know. Because if there was a coaching change, you wouldn't blame any of the players for then looking at their options too. Like, there's so many variables that go into it. That's why in this moment, this is so much fun for a fan. It's a reminder of why you put yourself through all those times of not winning, of the frustration of staying up late, is when you get a team that is living up to the expectation and living up to the hype, and they are better than last year.
What would make him the best Lobo ever? I mean, would it be numbers? Would it be he'd be a great pro? What would make JT top?
Well, you got to have some NCAA tournament appearances in there.
Mm-hmm.
With some wins.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're talking a guy that's we're already flirting with first team all conference as a freshman.
That's right. 20 games into his career.
Where's Cameron Bairstow at? Let's get Cameron Bairstow, come down for a week, work on the mid-range game with JT Toppin, and then, oh my goodness, watch out.
Yeah. And he will develop that as he moves on. Like, he will develop that game, right? He will. He's 20 games out of high school. He's literally 20 games out of high school. He might be. He's terrific. Let me just tell you, whoever is on that team that gets New Mexico to the Sweet 16 for the first time, whoever is on that team, those guys will be the best ever. Honestly, according to Lobo Fan, it has been so long, and this fan base is so thirsty for that. So whoever the core of that team, that's the statue. That's best ever. And this is a good conversation for Kenny tomorrow. Kenny Thomas will be with us tomorrow at 9:00. We'll kick it with Kenny, talk about it. Best Lobos ever. I mean, is he? Can he be? I don't know. Is he the best Lobo? Is he the best player on this team? Is he the best player on this team?
JT Toppin, the best player on this year's Lobo team.
Yeah. It's hard to define that because they're all so different, right? What one journalist said about the Lobos, it's a writer for another team. You'll see this team next week. Kind of takes his shot at New Mexico. It's next. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for the NFL playoffs and the Super Bowl.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them, gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or
on Jets. How about that?
Whoa, Nelly.
Win, get on Jets, get back home in the middle of the night and get it done again.
It's still
on
nice
Sunday.
to get back home after a game.
You like the Chargers?
It is.
Huh? You like the Chargers?
I actually love this Mountain West schedule this year for the women.
Because you're all day games.
On Saturday.
Yeah.
And so it allows the team to come back home.
Ladies were winners last night at the Pit, 84-77. New Mexico beat Fresno State. And after that, up in San Jose, Lobo men beat San Jose State 95-75. Another big number output for both the men and the women. Lobo men win by 20. Fourth straight win, fourth straight double-digit win. They are 5-2 in conference, 17-3 overall. We'll come home and play Nevada. Sunday night in the Pit, you'll see your old buddies, Steve Alford, Craig Neal. You get to boo them. There's a kaboom!
See, last night was perfect. You could watch both games.
Yeah.
You get to watch both games this upcoming weekend.
I don't know,
One team plays
man.
on Saturday, one team plays on Sunday.
I don't know. Bourne, it was a little late for Bourne, Jeff. These late tips are bad enough, but you need to make sure your TV partners are making a concerted effort. But when the start's listed at 8:30 or 9, the ball's going off at tea time. Can't let 9 o'clock slide till 9:12, especially midweek. I can't watch that.
Okay. Record it, watch it.
No.
Following
Yeah,
that.
in fact, you can. See,
Just don't listen to anything. Don't look at anything.
DC, are you going to the game Sunday night?
Am I going to the game Sunday night?
Yeah, the Pit. If you want to just see Lobo fan just take it out on someone, like I don't think
Is it going to be like that?
Oh, as soon as Noodles and Alford walk down, so Noodles will come down first because the assistants come, boo, and then Alford, people are going to lose their mind. It's how many years later? 10 years later, whatever it is. How many years later is it? It's 2 with Patino and 3 or 4 with Weir. It's like 7-8 years later, right? Oh, they're still everybody, and God bless you for doing it. I'm not telling you shouldn't do it. Be fan the way you fan, but yeah, and it gets throaty, and every time he argues with the ref, sit down, Alford, boo! And they came in and they won last year. Oh, it's beautiful.
You know, you might have just sold me on that.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good time.
Just for that, DC will love that.
you know what? He absolutely had such a good time. The only problem is 8 o'clock tip is kind of late for a 4-year-old.
Yeah, on a school night.
On a school night, yeah.
I get it. It's late for Bourne, too.
So 2016, 2017 was Craig Neal's last year, and that's what plays into the story.
So that's 8 years.
And so DC is one that we're introducing him to this.
Yeah.
The fact that
was Craig's
Steve
last
Alford
year?
and Craig Neal not only coached together on what was one of the best eras of Lobo basketball, and you kind of you separate them, one of the best starting fives that came up short, much like the Buffalo Bills. That was who the Lobos were those years. And then not only was it Alford, but it was Craig Neal as head coach. And then so Steve Alford bounces to UCLA. All the fans are upset. Then Craig Neal comes in, and Craig Neal has 3 bad years. After he got that returning group to the NCAA tournament, Neal was 15-16, 17-15, 17-14.
And just tumultuous off the court and with his son.
With Colin Neal, there's so many storylines that go into it. So it's like if you didn't know, you're like, wait.
There's just a
everything.
From someone you loved so much to someone you now despise. I don't know if you have that relationship in your past where you were so deeply in love and whatever happened and then there's that vitriol. I hope you don't, because it sounds like a horrible feeling. I don't have that relationship in my life. And I'm
maybe with the Spanos family.
Not even with the Spanos family. But that's what this is. That's lovers scorn, and they are. So that's this weekend. Let me ask you this. So the top of the Mountain West is so really good, and the standings right now have Utah State and Boise State at 5-1, sitting at top of the league, and then New Mexico State and San Diego State at 5-2. We haven't seen Boise State against the Lobos yet. We'll see that next week in the pit. I think it's Wednesday. JJ, who do you think is better, Boise State or San Diego State? Eye test me.
Boise State or San Diego State?
I'm sorry. Let me do this. The Boise State or New Mexico? Boise State is 14-5. They've lost to Clemson, Virginia Tech, Butler, Washington State, and UNLV. And they have good wins against. They beat St. Mary's. They beat San Francisco. They beat VCU, Utah Valley, Colorado State, Nevada. They beat San Diego State the other day. Or the other morning. Who do you think is better?
I know where you're going with this.
Okay.
Because I watched this same thing play out on social media last night.
Yeah.
So I will say I believe the Lobos have the higher ceiling, but Boise State does have the numbers to back up a better seed line right now.
So BJ Raines is a writer for he works for Boise State, right? He works.
No, he started Bronco News Nation,
which is what?
So it's
an independent news organization covering Boise
independent,
State.
But he flies the Broncos flag.
Okay, I mean, he flies it like he's reporter fan guy reporter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's won Idaho Sportscaster of the Year from the National Sports Media before. He was back last time I won it. He was back there. So he's on social media. New Mexico has 2 quad wins. They're 3-3 in the first 2 quadrants. Boise State has 4 quad 1 wins, 7-4 in the first 2 quadrants. And then he says New Mexico's 12-0, Boise's 5-1. Lobos beat up a lot of bad teams. Not sure what his point is in trying to take his shots at New Mexico, because if they beat him, then if New Mexico beats him next Wednesday, it should soften the blow, and if they beat New Mexico, then he should build them up, I would think. I'm not sure what his point is, pointing out.
Well, a lot of it
beaten a lot of
came because I saw it. Is he's ranked Boise State higher than the Lobos?
Yeah,
like in his power rankings and things like that, and of course Lobo fans are gonna have none of that, and they'll be like, "Well, you're dumb." And so you get the back and forth, but right now Boise State has a better resume than New Mexico. You know what that is, Jeff? It's fact.
Okay.
It's not opinion.
Yeah.
And that's where the quad 1 and 2 games come in, and that's where you give Boise State credit for playing a better non-conference schedule than New Mexico.
Was that by design, or do you think that? I mean, it probably was. Yeah.
Schedules are by design.
Yeah.
Every schedule is by design.
So their net is 5th. Boise State is net. This is the computer rankings. Net 53. The Lobos are 31 spots better. The Lobos are 22 net. So computer rankings tell me New Mexico is 31 slots better. And what did you just tell me? That Boise State, where are they better?
Well, they have 4 quad 1 wins. And 7 quad 1 and 2 wins overall.
Who are their 4 quad 1s?
The Lobos have 2 quad 1, 1 quad 2. And what hurts Boise State is they do have a quad 3 loss in there. 2 and 1 quad 3.
All right, I'm starting to lose my mind a little bit.
But this is what
even losing me on this.
But this is what you need to know, Jeff.
Yeah.
Like numbers. All no, this matters.
All right,
We're talking NCAA tournament.
Who are their great wins? Is San Francisco quad 1? Is Clemson quad 1? Is like they lost to Clemson, Virginia Tech, VCU, St. Mary's. I guess is one of them. I'm looking at their schedule and I'm trying to figure out. Without
the average opponent net ranking, on Boise State's schedule is 16.
No way. The average net ranking on their schedules, there's no way. That's not even possible. Vanguard.
Clemson is 33 in the net.
Okay, but that's not 16. Like, how is their average net rank of their opponent 16? It's not even possible.
Because we have San Diego State, Colorado State, New Mexico upcoming.
Okay, but none of those are even 16.
UNLV, but I mean, because UNLV is 106.
Yeah, there's no way that their average opponent's net is 16. It's not even possible.
It's what the official NCAA summary report.
Now you can tell me they may have the 16th best strength of schedule, but I'm calling BS. There's no way. Cal State Fullerton, Utah Valley, San Jose State, Northwestern State, Western Oregon, North Texas, St. Mary's, Butler, Virginia Commonwealth. There's just no way. I mean, I get it. They have a good schedule. I'll give it to them. They play a tough schedule. I'm not trying to knock them and their computer rankings. I just don't know why it behooves a writer or another beat writer to come in and try to beat them up and soften the New Mexico thing. I just don't get it. All right, when we come back, I want to get in a little bit more on the Harbaugh stuff. And Richard Pitino from last night on catching fire in the second half and how they took off. You're going to hear a little bit of what he had to say on the post-game show. Jerry Palm's going to be with us coming up in about 19 minutes. CBS Sports, we'll talk to him about that as well. And what it all means as we head into another week and coming off of a really good victory for the Lobos last night, 20-point win on the road in San Jose. Hey, how's your vehicle? I know. I get it. Mine too. It's time for me to call On the Spot Automotive Detailing. Going to suggest you do it as well. On the Spot Automotive Detailing comes out to you and protects one of your biggest investments, your vehicle. They detail your car inside, outside, under the rims, around the hood. This is what all the car dealerships do. And when they're done, it looks and feels and smells brand new. You don't have to go get a new car to have that new car feel. This is what they do. All that mud and salt and gunk is gone from the outside, and all that stuff, whatever it is that's sitting around on the inside and that smell, it's gone too. And they do it where it's convenient for you and when it's convenient for you. They come out to your office. They come out to your house, and they do it while you are busy. So you don't have to find time. You just got to make the phone call or pick up your keyboard and go to their website. Awarded Best of the City for 2023 because, well, they're reliable, they're efficient, and they're the best when it comes to what they do. Book online. Take a look at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Spell, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Tonight, some of you were impressed, some of you not. Dan says Jeffrey and Dennis Chris. We didn't even include you this time. I'm not going crazy over beating a 250 RPI club whose best player, Robert Vaihola, is likely out for the season. Don't go crazy. I don't think anybody's going crazy. You'd have got crazy if they got beat. Right? I didn't say go crazy. It's a good win, man. You just went on the road, won by 20, put up 95 points. I'm
against a team that was keeping it close.
With everyone.
Playing competitive games.
Yep.
And that wasn't close or competitive.
Stretch Boise State to the end. Stretch San Diego State to the end. Boise State pulled away and won by a big number. But they stretched them late in that game. San Diego State needed a J-Powell block in the last 10 seconds to win that game. Colorado State, it was a tough one. Fresno State beat them on a buzzer. Fresno State's not good, but I get it. No, nobody says go crazy. I'm just telling you. It's a nice, go on the road and score. I mean, I don't know. What would have made you feel okay then? Nobody said go crazy. All right, here's this is after the game last night. Lobos went the big second half. They were up at halftime 43-32. Put up 52 points in the second half. Richard Pitino last night on the postgame show on Lobo Radio, on the UNM Sports Radio Network with Robert Portnoy and Hunter Green on going on catching fire in the second half.
The thing that when we really get going is we turn teams over. Yeah. And Nelly got that steal. JB got that steal. So we do have to be able to get more stops when we don't turn teams over. But we also got to embrace the fact that that's what we're pretty good at.
They got it moving, and I agree with him. JJ, I think the defense is really, really leading to offense. And your point is, your points off of turnovers where's that number? I just saw it earlier. What was the number? The
25-4.
Yeah.
And so that's what is going to be key. This isn't going to be the Lobo team of the Alfred era where you're winning games in the 40s and 50s. Like, they're going to play fast, they're going to score, and their best defense is going to be creating turnovers, blocking shots.
All right, we had a conversation, and it was really based on a lot of your input 2 weeks ago yesterday. Well, I don't know, man. All these guys working together, and we need more Forsling and more Quentin Webb and more of this. Jamal Mashburn was on the postgame show yesterday, and he talked about him and Nelly and House and everybody working together and how it starts on the defensive side. They're starting to figure this thing out.
All about defense. Yeah, I'm glad you brought that moment with me and Nelly and House, because we're always trying to just, work off each other and just learn from each other. There were some things I needed to correct on the pick and roll defensive side, and Nelly was able to come and correct me, and we communicate. That's how we, that's what a team is all about, and I love these group of guys. We communicate with each other. We're open and honest, and we're able to have those tough conversations when we need to win these tough games. So
I'll tell you, there's a reason I really like this group, and I don't know what it's all going to mean when it's said and done in the end. Do they go to what tournament, how far, whatever. I think there's a pretty good mix, and you've got emotion and you've got stability. You've got youth and you've got veteran, right? I've got two guys in the front court. One's a senior from Nigeria and one's a true freshman from Dallas. And I love the way it meshes. I love the youthful enthusiasm and the upside on top, and I love what Nelly Jr. Joseph's turning into. In the backcourt, I've always been a Jamal Mashburn fan because I love his demeanor. I love he's like a grown-ass man playing college basketball, right? But yet, by the same token, I love what House brings with the emotion and the creativity and how dynamic he is. And then you put Donovan Dent into this mix, who is, by the way, as good a passer and an interior passer from a guard position that we've seen around here. And JJ, give me a guy who's a better interior passer, a better distributor of the ball than him that we've seen in our time here.
It'd be Dirty Scary would be the last passer.
He was good, man. This guy's really, really, really good. Okay, you're going back to Alfred's first 4 years. Yeah.
Because Dirty Scary put up numbers.
Yeah, he did.
But Dent has a little more of that wow factor. Some of his passes.
And he didn't turn the ball over. I mean, he just what turnovers for Dent last night. Again, the number was 0. 3 steals, 0 turnovers, 6 assists. I got a point guard who's got the ball in his hand so often and is taking care of it and is distributing. By the way, there were a bunch of assists that were either blocked or missed at the rim, too. That would have been. The Lobos assisted 15 times and 34 field goals. I don't know if that's dynamic in that number, but it was really good. It's a good win last night, man. It was a really, really good win last night. All right, you're in at 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. The email's Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Rod says, there's an old saying, Jefferson, if you are good, you don't have to tell me how good you are. If Lobo basketball schedule was any good, Lobo basketball wouldn't have to try to sell it. I wouldn't be hearing folks didn't realize UC Irvine is so good. I don't hear it a lot, Rod. I mean, do you hear them trying to defend their non-conference schedule a lot? Have you heard much coming from them? I could be missing it.
What it did is they won all those games and they put themselves in position to then capitalize on what is a fantastic top of the Mountain West Conference this year in terms of pure numbers. And I know you can go into a daze and your eyes glaze over and we're saying net rankings and this and that. That matters. Like, that's what's going to get you into the NCAA tournament if you don't win in Las Vegas.
And that's why these league games, you can't lose to San Jose State. You can't lose to, I mean, Wyoming is going to beat some people, but they beat Nevada the other night. You can't lose those games. You're going to lose. You got to lose on the road at San Diego, at Boise, at Nevada, at San Diego State. But yeah, look, the net rankings, JJ, I don't know. Their strength of schedule, I know, is rated really low, and nobody did them any favors. New Mexico State didn't help them. Santa Clara didn't help them. I mean, Irvine's decent. But you're right, man. I tell you all the time, people who are really good don't have to tell me how good they are. I agree with that.
And they'll be fine if they win the games at home, like they've done against San Diego State and Utah State. They have opportunities against Nevada and Boise State. And if you can pick off one of those on the road, then you are looking at a solid NCAA tournament team that, they'll still be floating in the quote-unquote bubble territory, but you won't just be down to a couple days in Las Vegas.
St. Mary's is 23 net.
They just have to avoid the thing for the Lobos. They played a lot of quad 3 and quad 2 games.
Yep.
But they haven't lost one of those games. They can't.
UC Irvine 71. Louisiana Tech. They played Louisiana Tech, right? 86. But they played New Mexico State twice. New Mexico State's 264. By the way, I'll hit this on the other side. Former Aggie coach Greg Heyer, undefeated, and has his team ranked second in the National Junior College rankings. I mean, dude can coach some ball, evidently. I'm just giving you facts. There's no
just
editorial.
Fact. You're right. No opinion, just fact.
No editorial.
No opinion, just fact.
To it. I mean, y'all can feel however you all want to feel. But that's going on. All right, when we come back, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports is going to be with us. Want his thoughts on the latest bracketology. Where does he have New Mexico? Where does he have the Mountain West? Nevada's kind of holding on. It's the opening drive. Jerry Palm's next on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, the NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
If you're drunk, blasted,
Intoxicated.
ripped, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Straight win, their fourth straight win by double digits. 95 on the road and a 20-point win. Next up, Sunday night in the pit. Steve Alford, Craig Neal come by to say hello. And they got an 8 o'clock game in the pit. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and J.J. Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls in a little bit. It is that time where you're probably checking brackets every day and you're looking at Jerry Palm's bracket going, okay, where are the Lobos? Okay, he's got them as a 10 seed, but are they moving up? They just won that.
Sending him a bunch of awesome tweets.
Yeah, I know you all love at JP Palm CBS. He's with us on The Sports Animal. We welcome Jerry Palm. Good day, sir. How you living?
I'm all right. How are you?
All right. Hey, can I start football real quick and then we'll get into the hoops? Zero surprise. I mean, you're in Big Ten country, but Harbaugh leaving, it can't surprise anybody. What does it mean to college football and more so to Michigan and the Big Ten?
Well, I mean, the meaning for Michigan is they're replacing a guy who won them a national championship. They'll probably promote Ron Moore, who was the interim coach when Harbaugh was out late in the season. Yeah. So, that seems to be where things are headed. But I don't think there's any larger meaning for college football. Harbaugh's a guy that's gone back and forth before. So,
I think that's right.
A lot of people thought he was going pro after the championship. He's going back to the NFL. He's dabbled with it almost every year. So, it can't be considered any kind of a surprise really at all that he's found his way back to the NFL. And he's actually got he's not taking over a dumpster fire like a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
The Chargers fired a coach off a team that was good but not quite good enough. And so it's not like he's taking over the Panthers or the Falcons or something like that. It's actually a pretty decent game.
Good shot. All right, looking at your bracket from what's today, the 25th?
Yeah,
so
Monday.
3 days ago. Right now, as of Monday, Jerry, you had 6 Mountain West teams in there, which is crazy to think. And I got to believe they're not getting 6. If I put the over-under,
probably not.
By the time we're all said and done, if I said 4.5, it'd be a tough bet for. I'd probably go under. But you got teams trending up. Nevada got a big win last night. You have them in your last 4 in. New Mexico continues to win. You've got them at 10. They won 4 in a row. Just your overview as you sit where you do and you watch these late night games and sit up. For us, it was 11.
I was watching last night, actually.
Yeah, late night. Just your thought on what's going on and where you see the league going.
Yeah, it's I think there are 3 teams that are relatively comfortable and 3 teams that don't have much of a margin for error. San Diego State, Utah State, and Colorado State, I think, have a little bit of comfort. Nobody can ever get really too comfortable.
Right.
But and then Nevada, New Mexico, and Boise, a little bit more on the fringe. But I think that 4 or 5 is going to be the number in the end. It's just they play too many games against each other for everybody to survive it. But it's a good year for the league. Certainly the top half of the league is having a really good year. And again, you've got a gap between the top half and the bottom half of the league. But that's kind of the nature of this thing. You get outside the major conferences, you don't always have the depth that the major conferences tend to have. A really good year, I think, for the Mountain West.
I know we put labels on it, and a couple of years ago, I hated mid-major. I still do. I high major.
I don't use the term.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't.
Yeah.
But we say major your conferences. And at what point is this league? Yeah, at what point does this league? I mean, how many years in a row would it have to be? Last year, I think it was 4 or 5 teams, 4 teams, right? To be considered, I don't know, not the Big East, but I mean, right there. How many years of performance does it have to have? They got a team into the national championship game last year.
Yeah, I would say several.
Yeah, fair.
Where it becomes a given that that's the way it's going to be. To the point where you just instead of becoming, hey, this is a really good year for the league, it's like this is a normal year.
Fair enough.
And and that's, I don't know how many years that is, but that's kind of what it takes.
Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the Sports Animal this morning.
And Jerry, to that conversation, is that more to do actually with the bottom of the league just not being like in the 200s or 300s?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you can count on one hand with fingers to spare the number of teams in the 6 major conferences that are below 200 in the RPI. Yeah. In fact, you've probably named them. But
DePaul.
DePaul, Louisville, drawing a blank on the third, but that's what it is. And Louisville's like
Georgetown,
Vanderbilt's the other one. That's it's Vanderbilt. And the Mountain West may have that many of their own. So that the bottom of the league definitely has to get. It has to be so that you don't have more than one like quad 4 loss potential in your league.
Yeah, when you lose on the road at Wyoming or hell, I mean, Air Force beat the hell out of UNLV there, and that would stunned me.
Yeah,
right. And it's UNLV too.
Yeah, I mean, That's why, Air Force going in there and winning a game and surprising it up. Going in there and beating them by 75 or whatever it was.
32
That's a
points.
ridiculous number.
32
Yeah.
points. Yeah. Jerry Palm, CBS Sports, is with us on the Sports Animal.
Well, Jerry, as we get closer and closer to March, it feels like every year we kind of have to re-explain things. But if you're just a basketball fan, what is one or two things that should matter when they hear like net rankings and quad rankings? What would you tell a fan like, hey, this is what you should pay attention to for your team?
First of all, your own net ranking doesn't get you anything. The net is designed to put teams, your opponents, in quadrants on a team sheet. And the quadrants, I'm not going to go through the arcane definition of the quadrants, but the quad one games are the best teams in the rankings, but not all quad one games are the same. There's a difference between playing Purdue and playing, Nevada or whoever. There's just differences. And there are going to be quad one teams that don't make the tournament, and there are going to be quad two teams that do make the tournament. So really, you're going to hear those numbers thrown around a lot, but the committee is going to be more focused on how you did against other tournament teams or potential tournament teams, whichever quadrant they happen to fall in, versus, not every quad one game is necessarily better than every quad two game. But that's, they give them a chance to sort things out and make it easier for them to go through all of this. But, they have a 5-day meeting for a reason. If it was just about looking at records against quadrants, they wouldn't need a 5-day.
All right. We've talked about court storming for a long time. We saw one with Ohio State women in Iowa.
Yep.
Caitlin Clark get, I don't know if run over or bumped into, or it depends which social media feed.
Mike DeCourcy wrote a really good column on that, by the way.
I need to read that because I didn't. SEC fined South Carolina $100,000. They beat 6th-ranked Kentucky again, and they stormed the court. Help me understand where we're going with this, because to a bunch of students, they could care less if the school's getting fined $100,000.
Right.
So, where are we going?
And the school doesn't even care. Because they make so much money in the SEC. I don't even think that number matters.
Well, the next one's $250,000, and the subsequent would be $500,000. And at some point, they're going to say, hey.
Yeah, at some point, they're going to care. Yeah, for sure. But if they care, they'll do something about it. They don't do anything to prevent it. They don't do anything to ensure the players can get off the court safely. They don't have anything in place to prevent the students from getting onto the floor. It's fun. Everybody who listens to this show knows I'm a Purdue fan. Purdue has been court stormed in 9 of its last 10 road losses.
Insane. I said this,
which is a testament to how good Purdue has been.
Well, of course.
But also, that's kind of dangerous. Purdue has not stormed its own court since 2008, but they also have redone the arena. And if Purdue students wanted to storm the court, it's going to take them a few minutes to get there.
Yeah, but if they want to do it, if a fan base wants to do it, they're going to. I said this 2 weeks ago in that CBS game when New Mexico beat San Diego State by 18 and the Aztecs were ranked whatever they were. I told JG on Monday, I said, you know what kind of impressed me? The fan base didn't storm the court like they expected to. And it'd been a minute since New Mexico had a win like that. And then they beat Utah State. And they say, I kind of like when they don't storm the court. It feels like it's lost the luster.
Yeah, I guess it shows the expectations of your fan base, right?
Yeah.
We expect to be good enough to win these games. We don't need to storm the court.
Yeah.
That's and so South Carolina, and sometimes kids are just being kids, and hey, let's go jump around in the middle of the court and get on TV, and stupid stuff like that.
That was my first time. My first time on national
social media.
Yeah, my first time on national TV when I was in college was storm the field at a San Diego State BYU game. So I was that.
Oh, when I was a student, I've been on the field.
Yeah, I was that moron. All right, when's the next bracket come out, Jerry?
Friday.
All right, so
Mondays and Fridays. Mondays this time of year.
A little tease for Lobo fan. I mean, after winning 4 in a row,
I can't even tell you because they aren't the only team that played this week.
They aren't?
And they beat a team that's not in the bracket, albeit on the road.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to expect them to be worse. But sometimes that happens. You win, you're actually worse because other teams around you did even better. But I would be surprised if I haven't started the bracket yet.
They do watch Nevada too. There is an interest in two former coaches in Reno who beat a ranked team last night too.
Yeah, there's So but I would be surprised if Nevada is lower in the bracket than it was on Monday. And it's more likely to be higher.
Watch it tomorrow. Read him on the CBSSports.com every day. Follow him on the X. It's at JP Palm CBS. Always appreciate the time, my friend. Enjoy the weekend, and we will catch up with you next Thursday.
All right, thanks.
Be well. Jerry Palm from CBS Sports. New Mexico wasn't the only team to play this week.
No way.
That's what I learned out of that whole damn thing. But, his point is really good. And JJ, you brought this up, and I'm glad you asked him the question. And while I'm on the other side of this argument, and it just drives me nuts that we'll see 10 Big 12 teams in there, and they've got losing records in their league, or Big 10. Do you know in the Big 10, and there's, I think, 14, 16, however many teams. Yeah. Do you know how many teams have a triple-digit net in the Big 10?
Yes.
2. Indiana's 100, and Penn State's 121. You go to the Big 12, where they have, 14 teams? You've got 2 teams with triple-digit nets. Oklahoma State's 138, which is amazing. And West Virginia's 151. So what his point is, you're never running into one of these games like you did last night where, you beat a team by 20, but what does it do for you? Because that team had a net ranking of 167, right? Now, the Mountain West isn't horrible. Like literally, you've got your top 7 teams with UNLV just slipped out with their loss. So you had 7 teams in the top 100. They slipped to 108. And your worst team is 239 at Fresno State. So you don't have the 350s, but these are quad 3s and quad 4s that you have to. It doesn't help you if you
really
win.
Throw a wrench into your plans.
Yeah, it doesn't help you when you win. It doesn't, but it kills you when you lose. And I'm just going to tell you, Wyoming at 177 is going to not only they beat Nevada up there, they're going to beat somebody else up there. They were within 2 points. San Diego State in Viejas 2 nights ago. They're going to beat somebody up there. And obviously, Air Force at 201. I mean, I don't know if he put it together, but something crazy happened the other night. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of perspective of what's going on. All right. 505-246-0610. You can comment on what Jerry had to say. Get in on it now. Lobos win last night. I got a little more on Jim Harbaugh. You guys are in on Jim Harbaugh and the Charger stuff. And I'll give you some of your thoughts on Harbaugh, the Chargers, and my love affair with them. Next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for the Super Bowl.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. During MVP's bonus days at Lowe's, save $20 on 5-gallon ceiling paint or...
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the Frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov.
The Sports Animals.
I will do Red Zone coming up at 9:15 this morning. Jim Harbaugh is the new head coach of the LA Superchargers. I got an interesting text earlier about, what's your infatuation? Why do you hate on them? I don't hate on the Chargers. Actually, I always had a soft spot for the Chargers. I just think they've been the classic underachievers. There's a Charger in it. I gave you a bunch of facts earlier. Somebody said, don't forget about the years the Chargers had LaDainian Tomlinson, the best running back in the league at the time, Antonio Gates and Phillip Rivers together. Other than putting up gaudy numbers in the regular season, they never made a postseason splash. That's correct.
Tom Brady. Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Sometimes it happens.
I mean, kind of the Josh Allen thing, right?
Exactly.
The person who said, your hate and your interest, whatever, he says, how many crappy NFL quarterbacks have won the Super Bowl? Even Peyton Manning was crappy during his second title. I'm going to tell you, not a lot of crappy quarterbacks. You may not call them superstars. Was Trent Dilfer crappy? Was Rob Johnson? It was Rob Johnson, right? Tampa Bay with Gruden. Or Brad Johnson. I knew I was wrong as I said it. Brad Joe, was he crappy? Was Mark Rippon crappy? They might not have been Hall of Famers. Were they crappy quarterbacks? How many crappy quarterbacks? I don't have the answer for you. Then he continued. He says the problem with the Chargers in LA and especially in San Diego has been its management, to include a meddlesome general manager who was tight with the owner when the coach wasn't in San Diego. Well, what's the difference? Same people on the team. So what's going to be different?
They have a new GM and new head coach.
Well, they don't have a GM.
Well, they will.
Yeah, and they have a new coach. But if the issue was meddlesome, all right, same man or same owner. But yeah, Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. You just lost your head coach at Michigan.
Yeah, well, I saw that one coming. That's probably the worst kept secret. You know, when you toy with that for the whole tenure, basically, you're at Michigan.
Yep.
It's just getting to the right number, and I guess Spanos has plenty of money. So, you know, he did his job. He won a national championship, and I'm pretty certain that they're going to move on with Sherrone Moore. That makes the most sense to me. The guy proved that he can coach.
Seems that way, and that's where the sentiment is. And if that happens, I would expect it today. And the longer that goes, the longer it means to me that they're kind of considering doing something else.
Well, yeah, because they have to advertise the position for 7 days.
Do they? Is that like a college?
That's how Michigan does it. So I think they're just running out the clock, you know, and waiting the 7 days, because I can't imagine who else they could get to come in that knows more about the program. And I think it's his time, you know, and he deserves the shot. And let's see if he can just take over the ship and save the portal, because right now you got Ohio State just, you know, bathing the athletic department in money from crazy boosters that think that that's going to buy him a championship. I'm reading a really interesting book. It's called Running into the Wind. It's Bronco Mendenhall's book.
Okay.
And it's they have a totally different recruiting philosophy. And he said when he got to BYU, there was 1,000 people on the list. They narrowed it down, and they only recruited 35 kids each year. Interesting. We'll see what's going on and how he does it at UNM. But a lot of the principles that he talks about in the book seem to be applicable. The only thing that you have to eliminate, obviously, is the church aspect of it, because at BYU, that has to be part of their program. Here it's a secular school, so you have a different thing. By the way, last night, San Jose State is a pretty good team, and they've had some hard luck. But to beat them by 20 points on their home court when they had, a last-second shot by San Diego State to beat them, they lost on a last-second shot. Yeah, they won on a last-second shot. So they're scrappy, and they know how to hang around. And they have good players, despite whether their best player is or isn't there.
Winning by 20 on the road's
I
good.
just think, I really like the way this team is playing. And I keep teasing Kenny because, you know, when we went to Vegas, when you're on a heater, you stay on a heater. You don't change anything. And I think UNM's really on a heater. And those three guards can really destroy people when you have bigs like that are that active.
Keep it rolling. Rudy, I'm at the top of the hour. I got to go. I got the music going. I got to go. But thanks. And you're right. Ride the heater out. By the way, that blue court, what do you think of that? Yeah, me too. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This is Boomer Esiason.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
And JJ Buck.
Basking in the glory of a 20-point victory on the road last night. Lobo fans feeling good. A little sleepy. A little late last night. 95-75 win over San Jose State in California. Lobos have won 4 in a row, all by double digits. 70 points cumulative margin of victory over the last 4 games. 17-3 overall, 5-2 in conference play. Ladies were in the pit last night. You listen to it right here on the Sports Animal with JJ Buck, the voice of the Lobo women's basketball team. 84-77, JJ. They may have found a little groove.
Absolutely. Beating Wyoming UNLV and scoring a season high 84 points last night. It was their best offensive performance. Shot 51% from the field. And this is good enough for them from 3. 7-15 from 3 because they're a team that gets downhill, attacks the basket, 21-25 at the foul line now. Right after the game, Coach Bradbury comes over and goes, well, we're not going to win many games playing like that. Well, you're scoring 84 points of offensive efficiency. Yes, you will, but that's not going to be their style this season. But they showed you something different, a lot of confidence, and I have to take it on the road to Air Force on Saturday.
So they will not play where am I? Oh, that's Saturday. They play Saturday. Lobos play men on Sunday. So Saturday, Lobos women at Air Force, and then the men back in the pit. It'll be 8 o'clock on Sunday night. Your good friends Steve Alford and Craig Neal come back to say hello. And you remember last year, 2 close games with the Wolfpack, and Nevada won both of them. Couple of other things, and it kind of broke yesterday, right, JJ, while we were on the air. Danny Gonzalez, former Lobo head football coach, got a job. He will join Brent Brennan's staff at Arizona, the former San Jose State coach, who Danny and Brent, pretty good friends. We're this is a big Brent Brennan house. We like him a lot. He took over at Arizona when Jed Fish went to Oregon. Danny goes to Arizona, will be the special teams coordinator and the linebackers coach. So he's in the Big 12. Do you know who Arizona opens up with next year? Their opener is their home opener on the 31st of August. Do you know who they play?
The University of New Mexico.
That's correct. Lobos in Arizona, first game in Tucson to open up the season next year. So you'll see Danny on the sidelines early. And one other thing, and I saw this the other day, and I just, again, this is just one of those, I mentioned earlier, but just for facts. Former New Mexico State basketball coach Greg Heyer, the guy who, was the coach last year and got fired after the hazing issue. I don't know if you could tell me where he was. I think you probably know he's a junior college coach. It's Mineral Area College. JJ, the NJCA, what is the National Junior College Athletic Association? The national rankings are out every week. Mineral Area College is 19-0 and ranked second in the country in junior college. Whatever that means to you, it might mean nothing. It might mean something, whatever. But I mean, obviously, dude can coach at that level, right?
It's not a question about coaching.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
It's a question about should this dude lead young men? Well, he can do it in JUCO ranks, apparently.
19-0,
but
right, second in the country.
The group he brought together last year in New Mexico State, ouch.
Yeah, yep, and they're still feeling it. All right, Sunday. We got the NFL Conference Championship games. First game will be the NFC Championship. The Niners hosting the Lions. Nightcap will be in Baltimore, where the Ravens will get a visit from Kansas City. So, JJ, interesting story came out from Nick Wagner on ESPN.com. And you asked the question on the sheet here. It says, if nothing happened, should it matter? It's Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy told Nick Wagner of ESPN.com that the 49ers wanted to sign Tom Brady to be the starting quarterback in 2023. That is this season, correct? Early in the offseason, this is according to Purdy, Niners coach Kyle Shanahan sat down with Brock Purdy and assured him that if he was healthy, he'd be the starter unless Tom Brady wanted to play one more season for his hometown team. That's the Niners. Purdy said that meant so much to me. I remember him saying, if we can get Tom Brady, we're going to try to get him. And I was like, yeah, he's the GOAT. I get it. But something deep down inside of me was sort of like, dude, I just showed you that I can play well in this system, and we're one game away from the Super Bowl. More than anything else, I was like, okay, now let's go. Is this a story? I guess it's a story.
Because this is one from one of the main characters. This isn't
the source is Brock Purdy.
The source is Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
That he's saying he had a conversation with Kyle Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan legit said, I'm going to try to get Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So there was a phone call to someone, whether it was Tom Brady's agent or Tom Brady himself, about playing football this past season. And it really didn't pick up a lot of traction. And one of the stories I was reading last night was kind of just that. It was like, is this a talking point? Should this matter? And if you're San Francisco, you went, yeah, we thought about kicking the tires on it. We were just shocked in a game where we didn't have any quarterbacks left on the field. And knowing that even at his age, we saw Tom Brady at that point in time, 2 years prior, win a Super Bowl. And you feel like you have a copy and paste quarterback position to be good. But now if you're the 49ers, you're back in the title game with a healthy Brock Purdy, you're feeling pretty good about where you are.
So Brock Purdy, I don't want postseason stats. I'm going to find me full season stats because his stats were so good. I know this sounds like an absolutely stupid question, and I'm going to ask it anyway. Because Brock Purdy was 5th in the league this year as far as quarterbacking, right? He threw for 40 yards, 4,280 yards. He threw for 31 touchdowns and 11 interceptions. I think 2 dudes threw for more touchdowns than him. Dak Prescott threw for 36. Jordan Love threw for 32. 11 interceptions. Tom Brady at 40, whatever, 45, 46. Would he have been better than Brock Purdy? I know it's easy. What do you mean is Tom Brady better than Brock Purdy? That's not what I'm asking you.
Mm-hmm.
At 45, 46 years old,
could he have done
after
that?
Retiring again, would Tom Brady have been better than Brock Purdy? Would they? I mean, I don't know. They're in the NFC Championship game. It's hard for me to say anything would have been better, dude. Especially if they go to the Super Bowl. I mean, what more do you want? Would he have been better? Because you would never have known. If you played Tom Brady, you never would have known. No, they'd be right here with Brock Purdy. You'd never know that.
It might have been the end of Brock Purdy.
It might have been the end of Brock Purdy.
Because even if you just got 1 year out of Tom Brady, then you're looking around and like, oh, what veteran quarterback? Oh, Kirk Cousins, the free agent.
Let's move up in the draft.
Let's bring in Kirk and run it for a couple years. Like, that's the path they could have gone down for the 49ers.
And would have if Tom Brady would have said, yeah, man.
And now here they are, the Brock Star.
And I know you got a thought on this. Edward, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Well, yeah, good morning, guys. I think Brock Purdy, by the way, he led the league in passer rating this year. He sat out week 17 and finished, I think, second or third in touchdown passes. Third. Barring an injury in the NFC title game last year, who knows what would have happened. So I'm a big fan of Brock Purdy. I think he got robbed by not being named all second-team All-Pros. I think they chose Dak. He had Dak beat in every statistical category outside of touchdowns.
Yeah.
So,
well, Dak threw less interceptions. Dak threw 9 interceptions and Purdy threw 11.
Tom Brady
and Dak had more.
Go ahead,
and Dak had more yards. So not every Dak had more yards, more touchdowns, less interceptions. Dak is statistic.
Yeah, the more yards is a function of him sitting out that last game.
Fair enough,
yes,
but it's real. Yeah.
Hey, I told all my friends, I think had they picked up Tom Brady when he left New England, it's hard to say, but I think that the San Francisco 49ers would have won 2 Super Bowls. I think they beat the Chiefs that year where Garoppolo missed those big throws when they had a 10-point lead with, 8 minutes to go.
Never know.
And I think they'd probably win another one. Brady's last year was dysfunction, but the previous 2 years, he threw for 43 touchdowns and 40 touchdowns. The year they won the Super Bowl, he threw for 50 cumulative touchdowns. That included the playoffs at 42, 43 years old. So do I think had he stayed with his program, could he have been better than Brock Purdy? Yeah, probably so, right? It's not only about just throwing touchdowns, it's about decision-making, navigating the pocket, facilitating the offense, and so forth. I heard your story this morning with the caller that kind of lambasted you. Boy, the Chargers, I still call them San Diego Chargers.
Yep.
When we were growing up, we didn't have a lot of money, and my sister moved to the Phoenix area. This was 1981 or 82, and my mom took me to the mall in Phoenix, and there was no New England Patriots stuff anywhere, right? But there was a Kellen Winslow jersey that my mom bought for me for $29 with a dark blue jersey. And I wore that thing every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday growing up at school, even though I was a Patriots fan. And that 81-82 team that went to Cincinnati Bengals and lost that cold game, I think they would have beat the 49ers. They beat them previously in that year. They took the 49ers apart that year in the regular season. They just happened to go play a cold weather game, but it's a great history, and nobody's blasting their organization. It's just that it's ingrained in our mind. They're the San Diego Chargers, and I think now that they have Harbaugh, I think they're going to play in the AFC title game within 3 years, probably within 2 years, and we're going to see Herbert go to another level. So that's my prediction.
Gotcha.
Have a great day, guys.
Later. Facts is facts, though. I mean, they finished under their projected total. Vegas projected, but last 5 years, they 0-7 and 1 score. I mean, the facts that I gave you are facts, right? They haven't been to the championship game since I think I told you 2007. They had Dan Fouts and they had Phillip Rivers, and I mean the facts is facts. I'm not hating. And I always had a soft spot for the Chargers. I still kind of do, but the reality is the reality. All right, you want to do NFL Red Zone when we get back, DC? You good with that? What do you got today?
Let's rock and roll.
What are we going to dissect some offenses a little bit?
Today's the offense day.
Offense day. It's leg day yesterday. It's back day today. We're going to offense and go through the 4 teams left. What do they got to do to win? Aside from the obvious, what do you got? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for the Super Bowl.
The matchups are set on
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Big weekend, obviously, in the National Football League Conference Championships. The winners go to the Super Bowl. Yes, we can call it a Super Bowl. DC, say my name, say my name. Oh, sorry. We get the first one. That'll be in San Francisco. It'll be the Lions and the Niners. We get the second one is in Maryland. That'll be the Ravens and the Chiefs. You were saying there's some speculation from Adam Schefter, who's kind of almost never wrong, about some coaching shakeup at the very, very top of the coaching world.
Yes, sir. He was on Undisputed this morning, and he put
Adam Schefter, yep, on ESPN. One
of the first things he said is that Bill Belichick is not the favorite for the Falcons job. Then he kind of went on to speculate, could Bill Belichick replace Andy Reid in Kansas City? And he basically said that he had heard some things that implied that Reid might go out on top if they win a Super Bowl, and basically hand it over to Bill Belichick to get his record and potentially continue the winning ways in Kansas City. But wow, I that is a bold thing.
So Reid just retired, so I'm done.
That's the speculation.
Because I'm in my mid-60s and I'm done. I'm going to hand it over to this young 72-year-old dude.
I mean, right now he is the most tenured coach in the league. So
can he? The issue to me is, can Belichick do State Farm commercials?
Belichick's hilarious.
Give me those nuggies. Can you tell me again what those use those nuggies?
They'll have some fun with Belichick if he's there.
Don't you think?
But, oh my goodness, if he took over the Chiefs, that would just be truly shocking.
Is that like Phil Jackson going from Michael and Scotty to Shaq and Kobe?
Wow, that is. Those things run parallel. That's interesting. That is a lot like that, isn't it?
I mean, there's a little lull in between, right? And then Phil Jackson had the lull between the two Kobe eras, basically in LA. But two different franchises, two different superstars. I mean, Brady, then if he gets to coach Brady and Mahomes. Because people all the time say, well, it was Jackson that really good of a coach? I don't know. He's got 10 freaking rings. Right? Well, how good? Well, I mean, he had Michael Jordan. Yeah, give me the great coach who didn't know great players. But if he gets to coach Brady and Mahomes?
Wow. And I mean, he went to the NFC Championship 4 times with Donovan McNabb. Not that he's on that same level.
Andy Reid did.
Andy Reid did, yeah. I mean, you know what? We're talking about Belichick. I'm just so shocked by this that a couple of weeks ago we were talking, like, I really thought that the Chiefs, that was like the only place he couldn't go because they seemed so like solidified there.
That's the first time I'm hearing that Reid wants to get out.
Me too. I kind of thought he was going to be there for,
as long as he wanted to be.
Yeah, half a dozen years.
He rides the Mahomes train, right?
That's what I thought when they signed that 10-year deal. I figured that they were both staying for that amount of time.
Boy, that could be seismic. All right, you got any thoughts on that?
If Andy Reid wins another title with Patrick Mahomes this year, it's not crazy. Like, you can, even if you're like, oh, I have Patrick Mahomes under contract for the next 8 seasons, you're like, I'm good.
Yeah,
like, I want to just relax.
Live my life. Yeah, live my life. All right, let's get in the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Let's go, baby!
It's 1st and goal.
You liked that Phil Jackson comparison, didn't you?
I really did, actually. That made a ton of sense. And now I'm thinking about coaching again, which is going to lead me to a very weird rabbit hole this afternoon.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Final Four. We have 4 awesome quarterbacks. We have some excellent tackles. We have excellent tight ends. Let's talk a little offense. Let's take some time to point out these key players and schemes from each team, and then tell the audience what to look for in this weekend's games. Let's start with Baltimore.
You or me?
Go for it.
All right. So every one of these is going to start with the quarterback, right? As you dissect an offense, every one of them is going to start with the quarterback. But as I go through this, the running game is Patrick Mahomes, but this has been a team that runs the football, right? Justice Hill, Gus Edwards. I don't know if we're going to see Dalvin Cook. JJ, you got me thinking the other day, though. You're right. Now, a key is Mark Andrews was cleared to practice this week. Evidently, he was a full participant yesterday. So them getting their tight end back is huge. You brought up Nelson Aguilar, who is a veteran that seems to be there in big moments. You got me thinking a lot more, dude. Lamar's got more weapons than probably he's ever had. He's got a really good young receiver in Zay Flowers. If Andrews is back, he's got, and likely he's become something. He's got 2 good tight ends. I don't know what I think of Rashad Bateman. I used to think a lot more of him. And Odell's still there, and Aguilar, he's got weapons now. Way more than he ever has.
And he has a wide receiver in Zay Flowers. He's confident in getting him targets. I think Mark Andrews is situational, but still that situation could draw extra defenders, could lead to a big play in the red zone. And it is Lamar Jackson opening up everything. He went through the year showing the entire world, I'm an athletic quarterback, and that can win a lot of games in the NFL. Like, get over your old school stereotypes that you can't run and throw the football. He got better as a passer, winning inside the pocket, winning outside the pocket down the field. And then Baltimore is like, you know what? We're going to give you some of that classic Lamar Jackson. And they just destroyed Houston with that. And that's going to be a challenge for Kansas City, because while you look at the units and you're going to gush over San Francisco, it's Christian McCaffrey, it's Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. The Lions have talent. The Lions might have the best receiver left in the playoffs in Amon-Ra St. Brown. The most explosive offense goes to the Baltimore Ravens.
2nd and goal.
Ready, down, put.
All right. How about Andy Reid and the Kansas City Chiefs?
Since it's a swan song.
Right. Is this the last game Andy Reid will be coaching? First thing I look at is Baltimore, 60 sacks in regular season. You know who hasn't been sacked in the playoffs? Patrick Mahomes. And so can they put enough pressure on Patrick Mahomes to get him to the ground, to put him on his backside? Because Mahomes is a creator, and we've all seen it. He makes plays outside the pocket. He's not the running threat, but he'll get out, he'll get downfield, he'll keep plays alive. Can they put Mahomes on the ground? Because that's the thing about Kansas City, where you're just like, how do they do it again? All year, we're questioning the wide receivers. They're dropping a ton of passes. Then they just start catching passes in the playoffs. They keep Patrick Mahomes clean. He hasn't thrown an interception. He hasn't been sacked. And it's a credit to how good he is, but also just playing your role. And everyone on that Kansas City offense is playing their role right now. And as long as you have that guy taking the snaps, you're going to believe that they can get something done.
So what helps the pass game? Great run game. What have I told you? I firmly believe right now in the playoffs, the second best running back in the playoffs left in the Final Four is Isaiah Pacheco. I think Christian McCaffrey is the best, and the way this guy runs is, and they're leaning on him. He's got 39 carries in 2 games. He's averaging 4.8 yards per carry. He catches the ball in the backfield, and he runs violently. Guys getting me 5 yards a carry. Feed me. And if they can establish that run, all of a sudden you got to respect it, and that opens it up for a magician in Mahomes to do what he's got to do. And to your point, his receivers are catching the stinking football. Travis Kelce, there's like playoff Jimmy, right? There's Jimmy Butler in the playoffs, right? When you get in the Miami Heat, playoff Travis has been pretty good, hasn't he? Playoff Travis has been really good. He's done. He's getting old. Playoff Travis has been pretty good. If they run the ball with Pacheco, the way he's been running, mad, angry, hard running, they got a real chance.
3rd and goal.
All right, what about the Brock Purdy-led San Francisco 49ers?
So this one really, really interests me, and the stats are a little bit mind-numbing to me when they have a key piece out, right? How they're really good because you say they're super deep. Ayuk and Debo and Kittle, and then they've got, I think, the best running back in the National Football League, Christian McCaffrey. If Debo is out or limited, I think that they're gettable. And then you got to rely a little bit more on Brock Purdy. Now, Purdy's been really good. He's been sacked just once in the playoffs. Yeah, look, it was one game. They played one game. If Debo's out, where are they going? Is it Ayuk? Is it Juwan Jennings? Who is the guy that steps up and takes it all? Because then all of a sudden I can take away Kittle, or I can take away Ayuk, and I can make you work a lot harder. The X factor obviously is McCaffrey, and he's such a great catcher of the football in the backfield. But to me, the biggest key is Debo. And if his shoulder's half as bad as they say it is, they're gettable.
And this is where you look at a quarter like Brock Purdy. All right, can you do a little bit more? And in the second half against the Packers, we saw it. He didn't have Debo Samuel. And then the fourth quarter, that drive, he put it together. But you're going to have to do that for 4 quarters. And I think that's what you're always looking for. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in this league, but what do they do in the biggest moments when they need to do enough? They need to make that one extra. So they need to put the ball in a position. Because I actually, look at the 49ers, and I know we gush over their skill position players. Without Debo Samuel, they're not that much better than everyone else. It's like, all right, you have Christian McCaffrey, and Brandon Ayuk is solid. But
Christian McCaffrey is different than everyone else.
Yeah. But I don't look at it and say, oh my gosh, it's this loaded roster. Like Juwan Jennings, I think George Kittle's the best true tight end in football, but he's not a guy that you see him, like 8 for 90. It's usually like 3 for 50 and a touchdown, a big play. So they might have to play a little bit different, but that's where you look at, all right, can Brock Purdy elevate that play and use the system to make the big time passes you need if Debo Samuel is not playing?
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, finally, the most interesting team to me, the Detroit Lions.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs is that dude that could be considered the second best running back in the playoffs with this explosiveness, how they get him involved, and as he's kind of taken over as the 1A for the Detroit Lions. These two teams, the Lions offense versus the 49ers offense, Jared Goff versus Brock Purdy, it's the Spider-Man meme, just pointing at each other. Like, I look at San Francisco's offense, the Lions' offense, I feel the same thing. They do the same thing. You have Iowa tight ends. You have explosive running backs that create in the run game and on the outside. And you have a legit target. Amon-Ra St. Brown, I think, is the best wide receiver left in the playoffs over everyone else.
More than Debo?
More than Debo. Because Debo, I just think it's just so much more the way they get him with the football, the way he runs. I think the best receiver left is Amon-Ra St. Brown. And so if you're the Lions, you say, hey, we can play with these guys. If Jared Goff plays a clean game, they're going to score on San Francisco.
So you said, and this is a fair argument, George Kittle's the best, would you say receiving tight end or best tight end in the NFL?
Best tight end.
I tell you, Sam Laporta is becoming right there. And 12 catches in 2 games on 14 targets. He has become, in one season, not just reliable, but he is the safety blanket for Jared Goff. Dude runs mad. He catches the football. Because I agree with you on Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra is the best receiver left. Now, if you're going to tell me they got the best receiver, you said they got the best running back left. I think they got the best tight end left. And that's saying something, dude. It's Kelsey, it's Andrews, it's Kittle. I mean, are these the best 4 tight ends in the National Football League? Or am I missing someone as far like you're looking for a common denominator? Oh, we got to have great quarterbacks.
Tight ends.
Give me another tight end that's not in this game that you would say is one of the best 4 tight ends in the National Football League. Kittle, Kelsey, Andrews. You got one?
TJ Hawkins.
Yeah, Hawkinson was the one that I was thinking.
Is he better than these guys? Any of these guys? Would you take Hawkinson over Kittle? I know you wouldn't because you said he's the best. Would you take him over Kelsey? I don't think you would. Would you take him over Mark Andrews? Maybe Laporta.
That would be the one I'd be.
Andrews or Laporta?
Andrews and Hawkinson.
Okay.
I know. But yeah, and guess where TJ Hawkinson went to school? Iowa.
Right.
How could Iowa play 0 offense and then have the best tight ends in the NFL?
Because they only throw to tight ends, dude.
They teach them how to block first.
They block. You're not going to catch. You're going to block. But when you get to the NFL, you can catch.
I've heard this nowhere, and it didn't click until I just said it. But, I mean, you got to have great quarterbacks, right? Real argument, and if you want to throw Hawkinson in there, fine. Kyle Pitts doesn't fit the bill yet. I'm looking through the whole thing. I mean, nobody else fits the bill. You can make a real argument. Well, you got to have a great tight end. The best 4 tight ends are in the AFC and NFC championship.
If I'm sitting there in the 6th round, I might be looking at Iowa's roster and be like, this guy never played, but
take
he's
a Matt
listed
Castle
at tight
flyer.
end.
Yeah,
let's draft him.
A Matt Castle kind of a flyer, right? Matt Castle never played at USC because he was behind Carson Palmer and Matt Leinart. But you know what, dude? He was at SC. And he had a hell of a. I mean, he made money. Like, he made money playing in the National Football League, and he had the 1 year starting behind Brady, and they won 11 games. That's good, man. That's good. I didn't even think of some of that stuff. All right, 505-246-0610 will be yours the rest of the way. 888-9. Your Charger guy isn't giving it up, man. He's back at me. I'll give you that. 505-246-0610. When we come back, Lobo fan, you still have more to say. I'll get you back on your game last night. Raiders quarterback. That will be. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for the Super Bowl.
Pro football is a game, not a war. It's for win or lose, not like.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors.
The stat, the last 16 quarterbacks who have lost in the Super Bowl have not returned.
Yeah.
So there have been quarterbacks like Elway lost and returned, and hell, Brady lost and returned, right? Peyton lost and returned, right?
Is it? I think it's the following year.
Oh, is it the following year to get back? Well, no, because Goff would be one of these guys who lost the Super Bowl and got back. Huh. All right. 505-246-0610. Our Charger guy. This is on the text line, 505-246-0610. The fact is, the Chargers originated in Los Angeles. So by that actual standard, the Chargers are an LA team, not a San Diego one. Yet, selective naming produces preferences. I don't know, is there a song? Los Angeles Superchargers.
But this kind of feels like.
What?
Move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Chargers were there for what, 40 years? They were in LA for one, and then in 50 years in San Diego. But all right. Do your thing, man. Whatever you like. I'm going to do what I like. You do what you like. Glenn Rivers. Doc, Gopher says, Jeff, is he the new coach that gets recycled for every job like you used to see Don Nelson, Lenny Wilkins, and Dull Harris? Yeah, kind of is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely is.
So real quick, the stat on the quarterbacks, it's the last 16 quarterbacks to lose in their Super Bowl debut have never even made it back.
Okay, debut. Okay.
So and that's why Goff, because he lost in his first one. If he came back, he would be the first one in the last 16.
So if you lose in your first Super Bowl, like Joe Burrow did, like Jared Goff did, like
Hurts,
Jalen Hurts did,
Garoppolo,
Jim Garoppolo. All right.
I don't know.
You don't like that stat?
Well,
it's real.
It's real, but then it's also there's the Brady era in there. Then you're playing Patrick Mahomes. I don't feel like it's
always an era.
Like a huge, like a.
Okay. All right. Jeffrey wants to talk about the Lobos. They won 95-75 last night in San Jose. Hello, Jeffrey.
Yeah, let me digress for a second. I'm actually, speaking of Goff, I'm actually watching the Goff-Sabalenka semifinal match recorded, so I don't know who won.
No, I won't tell you.
Good. There's another Goff playing world-class athletics. At any rate, I wanted to make a kind of an obvious point about Lobo men's basketball. I've been watching them for about 50 years. I think what's really a distinctive differentiator this year is their ability to negotiate attrition because of their depth. I mean, previous really good teams, we went maybe 6 deep, but this team can probably go 7, 8 deep, which means they can withstand and survive injuries as they've demonstrated earlier. And as importantly, they can survive in-game foul situations. So I think it's their depth and their ability to play disruptive defense that's really distinctive about this team. And that's why I'm really excited about this particular team.
Well, and I'll give Richard a lot of credit, right? If you remember the end of last year and you were disappointed, we all were,
the way they started. And what was the blind spot for this team? It was defense. They were not a good defensive team. And he said in his final press conference at the end of the year, he said, we've got to get better defensively. And I think they have. I think that not just on the interior, I think exterior defense has been, I think Donovan Dent has been terrific and Jalen's been good.
And it's a bit of an oversimplification, but overall, one can control defense much more effectively than one can control offense.
Absolutely.
And that's why some of the great teams, whether that's football or what have you, that play defense consistently are always going to be relevant and always going to be competitive. So I think that, coupled with their ability to withstand attrition, injuries, and in-game foul situations, is really a differentiator for this team.
Yeah. All right, you don't want to know how Coco Gauff did? I won't tell you.
I don't want to know. I'm actually pulling for Sabalenka myself and Novak, but I'm actually watching the replay. So
I won't tell you.
I'm gonna. All right, there you go.
Enjoy it.
All right, man. Good talking to you guys.
Later. Jeffrey called at 505-246-0610. Good to have him back in the mix too. All right, I won't tell you at all how Coco did, although it's over. I agree with him on the defense, JJ. And we said this earlier. Now, there was, you looked at the UNLV game and you said, whoa, right? That road game at UNLV was such an outlier to me. How did that just happen, right?
Yes. Down by 21 points in the second half.
And it was the Boone brothers. It was like boom, out go the lights. You know what I mean? Like, dang. And then you see them look so pedestrian at best against Air Force. But they ate the Lobos up that day. And I was really worried about playing big athletic teams. Still not totally convinced. They played well against San Diego State here. And so the next step with this team is take this on the road and beat one of those top 5 teams this league.
Yes, that will put you higher in the comfortable rankings when we're talking about getting to the NCAA tournament. Because to me, I put so much on the resume. Because if I'm a team, I want to be on the bubble, but I want to be confident on the bubble going to my conference tournament where I know I don't have to win all 3 of these games. To win 2. If I'm playing for a conference title, that's great. But if I don't get that automatic bid, I'm still going to be an NCAA tournament team. Well, and the Lobos have that opportunity because they don't have bad losses. They've won the games at home. And it's what we said January had to be. It's simple.
So far.
You win your home games, and then you try to pick off 1 or 2 when you
you don't even have the opportunities on the road in January, right? I mean, the road games in January.
You have to win at home in January. Easy, duh.
You had to get fat in January.
Yeah. And then you go, all right, can we win one at Boise State? Can we win one at Nevada? Win one at Utah State? Win one at San Diego State? You should get 2 of those. And all of a sudden, you're heading to Las Vegas going, well, we might even be the regular season champs. We feel like we could win a postseason tournament. And we're pretty confident we're going to get into the tournament regardless.
Look, man, you got 2 more home games this month, right? You got Sunday and the next Wednesday, Nevada and Boise State at home. Then you got to go to Laramie, come home for UNLV. Then you got a week, February, Valentine's week. Oh, this is for lovers. You got to go to Reno and San Diego that week. Then you come home and you get Colorado State. You get Air Force. And then you close out at Boise, Fresno State at home, at Logan. Man, you had to get fat this month, right? I mean, dare I say, you kind of got to win the next 2. Jerry just told you, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports was with us. They're bracketologists. He said there's 3 teams that are relatively comfortable in this league right now. San Diego State, Boise State, Colorado State, because of their non-conference. And the 3 teams that are, or was it Utah State? And it put New Mexico and Nevada kind of on that, you really, you can't afford a slip up. And you got to make a little haste. But you had to get you got to get healthy. And you've done it. You went out on the road. You've won the last 4 by double digits. You beat San Diego State. You beat Utah State. Convincing on the road. You got Reno and Boise State coming in. You kind of got to. I mean, again, I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're must wins, but JJ, they're kind of, the home games aren't they?
Yeah, the home games are must win games to stay on the right side of the at large conversation. Because then you say, all right, we lost one at home, but now you have to go find an extra one on the road.
All right, 505-246-0610. We'll wrap it up for you when we get back. Read you any correspondence I haven't got to yet. You still have a chance to get in what you need to know as you go through your Thursday on the opening drive on 95.9 FM, AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football, the NFL playoffs, and the game they call the Super Bowl.
This is Homer Esiason with the CBS.
One foul in this quarter, and it's Albuquerque. Here's Maldonado for three.
Corner. Gatto drive baseline. This time he will take it to the rack.
He's so confident when he takes it to the basket.
On the board for her, 34-54. Behind the back dribble for Sosi, and Sosi buries the ball. Allison Sosi.
There's the corn.
Still nothing. It's perimeter-oriented pass around.
The corn fires a three and gets another one.
Great. The basket will count for Junior Hogs, and he's fouled. Fouls on Juarez.
Great finish by Moore right
With it. Kicks it over to Jennings for a three. Oh, Santana! Close bank off the window.
Has been stuck on 14 the last couple possessions. There's Chloe Brown, a right corner three. It's short. Randall, the offensive rebound. Counted and a foul for Nadia Randall.
Thought about it, puts it on the court, pulls up, gives it to Brown. What is this? Oh, my goodness.
Sanchez has the third one, so he's got two of those. Quick steal, and there's the basket to close out the quarter as Brandon Lopez with a big steal.
Question a little bit, and you got me thinking about it. You know, look at here.
Tipped away by Owino. Big smooth, big jam, big time finish.
Green. Early voting runs now through November 4th.
ANML AM Albuquerque is the sports animal. Proud to be a Cumulus media station.
Even if they're not that proud of us.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
All right, heading into your, what day is today? Thursday? The rest of your big day? Got a lot for you to look forward to today. What do you got to know as you go through? Lobos were winners last night on the men's side. JJ, they went out on the road and won by 20. They went to San Jose, won 95-75. Good win for them. 5 guys in double figures. Donovan Dent, 17.6 assists. Jalen House, 18 points, 4 assists. Mashburn had 17. Nelly Jr. Joseph, 10 and 7. Another double-double for J.T. Toppin. He had 14 and 10. Lobos have won 4 in a row, 17 and 3 overall. They are 5 and 2 in conference play. Meanwhile, at the pit last night, the ladies had a big win, JJ, 84-77 over Fresno State.
Best offensive performance of the season, 84 points, shot 51% from the field. It was just a whole lot of fun to watch last night.
Jim Harbaugh is the new head football coach of the Los Angeles. Make you feel better? Does it make you feel better when you hear it? The Chargers. San Diego Superchargers.
It does not make me feel better.
What does it?
Saying LA.
Yeah, I mean, it makes that one guy feel better. Jim Harbaugh is the new head coach of the Chargers. And there's a report out this morning from your guy, Adam Schefter, that I got to believe is going to I'd love to hear this. This is courtesy of ESPN. This was Adam Schefter on Undisputed. What was the show? Whatever the show, Undisputed. This morning, with this theory, these rumors, these reports that Andy Reid might step down this year and Bill Belichick might take over as the head coach of the Chiefs. But he's just all right. You made it sound a little more credible than that. I mean, and maybe it is. And I haven't been staring at the Twitter, so that just sounds to me like, well, what if this happened? I mean, we did. But what if?
You said it a few times last week.
Or you think there's something to it?
I do. I wouldn't repeat it if there was nothing.
All right. That's out there too. What do you watch tonight? You get a little Pac-12. Aggies are on CBS Sportsnet tonight. JJ, did you hear me say this? The first place New Mexico State Aggies, first place in Conference USA. They're at Sam Houston, but one of the teams with whom they are tied. They will be on CBS Sportsnet. You can watch them tonight at 7 o'clock at Sam Houston if you so desire. So that's all there for you. I think I get Arizona and Oregon State. JJ, you're a Charger guy. Move on? ? You State ? I agree. Get away from calling the Chargers the San Diego Chargers. Call them what they are, the LA Chargers. Or failing that, continue to talk about the Rams being in St. Louis. With all due respect, sir or madam, whichever the case may be.
With all due respect, we don't need to have the same conversation for 3 hours.
Yeah, and as much as you don't...
Our points. Let's move on.
I'm not telling you what to call them. You can call them whatever you want. You're not going to tell me what... Call them whatever you want.
There are other things to talk about today.
Seriously. Okay, wait. What was this new Chargers song? Is this the Los Angeles Superchargers song? Wait, I know this one. They play it SoFi, right? We play it every time we talk about the Chargers. Move on. You must call them this. Ew. Why is that dude so angry, or a lady, whichever the case is? Why is that person so angry? Is that hate listening? Is that what that is? Is that what that's called?
I believe that would be a perfect example of hate listening.
All right. This is a crap. That's all I can tell you. Speaking of the NBA, where this is a crap.
It's a complete crap.
I gotta get that right, don't I? I just gotta get it right.
That is how the texture feels about you.
Yeah, I am a complete crap. Did you see Luka? Luka was so frustrated last night. He got called for a technical foul. There was a heckling fan who got ejected, and Dude, Luka's starting to. But you?
Of course. That's pretty mild for some of the things I've heard.
It seems that way. So Luka was near midcourt. He turned around. He stared up the fan for a few seconds. He jogged back on defense, and he waved over to the vice president of security, a guy named Brian Kinzig, pointed out the fan and gestured that he wanted that fan ejected. And then Luka went up to the VP of security on the court during the break, in between quarters. He pointed at the fan again and requested for that fan to be ejected. The fan left without further incident after being approached by somebody, a staffer, an arena staffer. And Doncic was asked about it by a reporter afterwards. And why, what, you down with that?
Championship prediction day.
Is that tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
All right.
And Kenny Thomas.
And Kenny Thomas. Adrian, great work. Always. DC, terrific. Beautiful. You're terrific. Nobody better. You're the best that has ever been. Big day for you?
Huge day.
All right, enjoy. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Rosendo Najar here, president of Carpenters Local 1319.
Juan Junior Gonzalez, warden of Local 1319. Some people have a misconception about what a carpenter does.
The carpentry trade entails more than just woodworking or building houses. We are responsible for 85% of a construction job site. Everything from the superintendent on down. We have a great apprenticeship program. Information can be found on our website.
Refractive lens exchange, the latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference